or welcome Franklin County Jeeps. This is the first episode of FCJ Jeep Talk. Today, our guests are Bobby and Jennifer Nelson. They are the founders of Franklin County Jeeps, and Bobby was our first club president. How you doing today, Bobby?
I'm Jeremy.
How you doing, Jennifer?
Hi.
I know a lot of people like to know, how did you guys get started with the Jeep life? What inspired you to begin your Jeep life?
Well, she started it with a Grand Cherokee.
Yeah.
What year was that?
2005.
2005? No, the green one before that.
We got married in 2004, so it couldn't have been much before that.
But she started it with a Grand Cherokee, and we just fell in love with Jeeps, and I bought an old XJ from my sister, and we fixed it up and started taking it out on the trails. It was around 2005 or so.
I think he got a little bit more wild with it than I wanted to in the beginning, so it took some convincing to get me out off-roading for a while.
Okay, so you guys created Franklin County Jeeps. What inspired you to create the club?
Well, she was kind of voluntold, but we were out on a trail ride and with other Jeep clubs, and thought that it would be nice to have something out in this area, bring the community together, because we've seen so many Jeeps out in this area, but we didn't know anyone.
Mhm.
So we started the club on Facebook, and exploded into what it is today, unbelievably.
Well, I, for one, am glad that I met you guys and found out about the club. Now you've inspired me to get to go out do all these trails throughout the United States.
We've met so many great people. Also, learned a lot, and brought a lot of new people into the community.
Yeah.
And it's been a great time.
Yeah, the Franklin County Jeeps has become quite a family altogether.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You two were the ones that started it and helped create that family.
And that's what it was intended to be, to bring everyone together, and then give back to our community through the honor flight, through the highway cleanup, things like that.
What advice would you guys give to a new Jeep owner or someone that is just thinking about buying their first Jeep, wanting to get into the Jeep life?
Well, someone's just thinking about it, they can always come out and hang out with us and see if it's for them, get some ideas on what they like. Purchase a Jeep, I'd always recommend wheeling it stock first to see if it's for you, to see what the vehicle's capable of, because most people are amazed at what they're capable of just in stock form. And then decide what mods you want, how far you want to go.
Okay.
Some people are perfectly happy just driving around, easy trails, social events. Some people want to go extreme. So.
Yeah. When I first bought mine, I was just going to be the social, driving around having fun, but hanging out at Wheeling 101 with you guys inspired me to go getting off-road too.
Good.
Having fun with that.
I would say don't go too fast as far as your build. We did that once with one of mine, and unfortunately, I was railroaded about 8 months later, and this one's been a lot slower of a build, and he's gotten exactly what he wants and not jumped into anything too fast.
Right.
Yeah, that's good advice.
Take it slow, see what works for other people and what's probably going to work for you. And talk to a lot of people, get a lot of ideas.
That's one good thing about joining the club, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Get to talk to a lot of different people with a lot of different ideas on what they want to do.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
And everybody has their own idea of their first mod.
Yeah.
And it's all personal, depends on what you like, but you also have to keep in mind what are your intentions with your Jeep.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, what you plan on doing with it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what's your guys' favorite part of the Jeep life?
Favorite part of the Jeep life has to be the people, the camaraderie. That's the best ever. I can go out on a trail and not really do anything but just be around everyone and just have a blast all day long. I don't have to be doing anything.
That is one cool part of it.
That and the look. You know what I'm talking about.
I know what
The
you're talking
look.
about because you told me you saw it on my face.
Yeah, when you have somebody out for the first time and they see what they can do, there's a certain look, like the excitement, and he sees it
Absolutely.
through your windshield, and that's really what still gets us going today.
And that was the best thing about one-on-one class, leading the class, and seeing the look in people's eyes when they get big and they have the big smile on their face.
Like, you're hooked.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It happened to me in my first wheeling 101.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's one of the best things about it.
Cool. Now let's talk about this big badass Jeep that you guys got here.
This little thing.
You
Loves to bring the friends over to fondle his Jeep.
Well, name is Rich Runner. Rich Runner is a 2009 JK Rubicon. When we first bought it, it had a 2-inch lift on it and had the front bumper, and everything else was stock. And we took it out and wheeled it like that, and we had a blast. Rich Runner is sitting on 37 Wrangler Kevlars with raceline wheels, 4.5-inch rock crawler, triple rate springs, and Rubicon Express extreme duty control arms. Has rock hard skid plates from the front to the rear. The axles are trussed, new brackets on everything. Have 513 gears with RCV axle shafts in the front, nitro axle shafts in the rear. Have a locker bypass the factory Rubicon locker, so I can activate when I want.
That's nice.
I can activate the front only if I want, which you can't do with a factory Rubicon setup. Early on in the build, we did a Poison Spider rear bumper and fenders, and that was part of our armor. The rock sliders used to be on Jennifer's Jeep. Those are Poison Spider also. All the Poison Spider armors held up really well. We have a Flowmaster trail exhaust for high clearance and a little extra sound. We have a Bi-Air 2-on-2 air system for onboard air. And then to the inside, obviously PRP Comp Elite seats, 5-point harnesses, Poison Spider front roll cage, custom rear roll cage, custom built. I've had a lot of friends help me out with things like that. I really appreciate their help. Have hog rear corners with trail tail LEDs installed. Deviant fire extinguisher holder. Have hardwired winch controls inside.
You want to tell us about what inspired the name Ridge Runner?
Well, according to Wikipedia, Ridge Runner is someone who hikes the Appalachian trails and helps people who are not prepared to handle things on the trail, situations, not prepared for it, and he will help them out. He or she will help them out, give them maps, give them food, give them water, advice, whatever they need to get them through.
That's a cool name. It's nice to see a name that means something.
That was the inspiration for it, and that was also the inspiration for starting a club to help people out, bring them along.
Well, you've definitely helped a lot of people out in the club.
I
Both
try.
of you. Definitely inspired a lot of people to live the Jeep life. What would you say is your favorite mod?
Favorite mod? Probably the 37s.
37. I don't blame you there.
Took you forever to
It
get
looks
those.
good.
We compromised on that though because I thought those other Kevlars really held up. He had some deep gouges in them and they still held up. So when we went to 37s, the Kevlar was the way to go.
I was going to buy some less expensive 37s, but as she said, our old tires held up really well. So our motto was buy once, cry once. We went with the Wrangler MTR Kevlars again.
My favorite mods are the seats.
Are they comfortable?
I could probably sleep in them.
Oh yeah, that's nice. Comfortable and safe, right?
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah, which gives me a lot more freedom while we're on the trails because I was always sometimes really hanging on just to try to stay in and not squeal, so he was concentrating on what he had to. And now I'm firmly in the place and I can take pictures and I can spot him better because I'm not so focused on staying in.
Since you changed to 37s, have you noticed driving on the road, like the drivability? Or what would you say the pros and cons of the 37s are?
The drivability has been about the same because I changed the control arms about the same time. So it drives really nice going down the highway. So the pros and cons, it's going to cost you money.
That's
It's
true.
actually a lot smoother than it used to be. I think it's probably more the gear change than anything, but it's a lot
Yeah.
smoother than it used to be.
It's a lot smoother than it used to be. The pros is more ground clearance, of course. They roll over things much easier. Can definitely tell a difference. The cons, the expense, the gear ratio is going to have to be changed. I have a 44 in the front, factory Rubicon 44, which is trussed, RCV axles. So definitely gonna need some upgrades. PEM, drive shaft, front and rear.
And those Fox shocks have done well for us on 3 different Wranglers. So.
Yep, Fox shocks. The balancing on these wheels, I did Dyna beads instead of stick-on or lead weights. Pretty smooth going down the highway. Once in a while you get a little vibration. So for people who are wondering how to balance such big tires, Dyna beads, they have a chart on give you a good idea how much you need. Don't do airsoft beads, they don't work. Artec trusses, upgraded brackets, 1/4 inch heavy duty. C's have been welded on for extra support. Highly recommended when you go to 37s. Have Terraflex steering. Right off the bat.
Roy built the cage.
Yeah. Little worn M8000. Kind of small, but it's done pretty well.
Do you do your Instagram page much anymore?
Once in a while. It's a mix of Jeep stuff and hunting stuff.
Have you done any modifications to the engine?
The engine is all stock. Only thing I've done is via air 2-on-2 air system down here. 2 400C compressors on a 2-gallon tank.
But speaking of off-roading, what are some of your favorite trails? Toughest trails, funnest trails?
Well, I believe S'more is one of our favorite parks. One of the favorite trails is Rocky Road, and Log Jam is another favorite there. One of the toughest trails ever done, probably Puppy Liquor at S'more.
I still think you just like saying it.
Yeah, it is funny to say.
And I got hooked on Stairway to the Moon.
Is that in
That's
S'more
still-
also?
Yeah. No, that one's at Moonlight.
That one's on Moonlight?
That was her first trail that she drove by herself.
Oh, yeah.
And this,
Then I wanted my own.
Yeah.
she wanted her own.
What are some of your bucket list trails? Things you would like to do in the future?
Moab, Colorado bucket list trail would be the Rubicon Trail someday,
2025.
2025.
So
We're ready to do some more traveling.
Well, I'm planning a trip to Colorado next year.
Yeah,
Welcome to come.
well,
That is scenic.
we're trying to get ready. We've
yeah.
stepped back a little bit with COVID.
Yeah.
Work, grandkids coming along, so we've stepped back a little bit, but we're ready to get back in and do some traveling with the Jeep.
For sure.
I ask you the classic question. Is your build finished?
Of course it is.
I felt a look.
Yeah, I saw it. All right, so with that answer, what is your next modification?
Probably gonna have to upgrade to some PSC steering soon.
Step.
Mhm.
A step.
A step.
And why does he need a step?
Because that was part of our agreement to get in 37s. You got to take care of your wife and allow her to get up in the Jeep, especially the ones that are getting old.
Well, thank you guys for being on our first episode. And I know you guys have both inspired me to enjoy the Jeep life more than I ever thought I was going to.
Spent a lot of money.
And spend a lot of money. Yeah, that's true. But it's worth it in the end. Lots
Yeah,
of
it
smiles.
is. Lots of good
Smiles.
people.
Lots of good people. Yeah, I've met a lot of good friends that I would say are friends now, including you two.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we met because of the Jeeps.
That's
And,
right.
you know, now look
Yeah.
where we are.
Yeah, we met a lot of people.
Yeah, that's cool.
A lot of great people.
Yeah, that's one thing I've noticed as well. And at least in our club, everyone is very nice and friendly and help each other out, and a good family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Well, thank you both again,
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
and thank you all for watching FCJ Jeep Talk. If you'd like to be a participant or like to be featured on this series, just contact me on Facebook Messenger. Love the Jeep life. Peace.